Hey, what's up, you castle of freaks? I am here for a new movie review, and it is for Lisa Frankenstein. And I've been looking forward to this film ever since the trailer dropped a couple months ago because it's written by Diablo Cody and directed by Zelda Williams, and I believe this is her film making debut, or at least on a wide scale. She's probably maybe done short films and stuff like that. But also, the title of Lisa Frankenstein, I'm sorry, when you put a name together like that, that always cracks me up. I enjoy that. I'm kind of a sucker for that joke. But, let's see, let's get going here. This is, like I said, directed by Zelda Williams, written by Diablo Cody. And it stars Katherine Newton as Lisa, Cole Sprouse as the Creature. Lisa Soberano as Taffy, Carla Gugino as this evil stepmother, and Joel Crest as Dale. And I'll get into that for a second. And of course, the premise is Lisa is this young teenage girl in the 80s. I believe this is 89. It doesn't look like 89 the way it's done. And she is kind of like still getting over the trauma of her mother being brutally murdered. And her remarkably useless father marries this terrible woman who has a daughter of their own. And she is kind of like really emotionally abusive, which kind of like causes her to, it's not helpful. And dad's useless, and her stepsister, Taffy, it kind of does her best, but Taffy kind of just is only relating to her in the world that she's been taught. So she can only do so much getting in touch with her. That changes when she discovers this cemetery, and she has become enamored of this one grave that has this beautiful bust of this man. And I think it's Frankenstein, actually, the way it's written on the tombstone. Anyway, he is magically brought to life in a way that's not really fully explained, and I'm cool with that. But she takes him in and starts like caring for him and kind of falling for him. At the same time, she's also falling for another guy. And she realizes he could be like pieced together. And she starts using Taffy's malfunctioning, really poorly made sun tanning bed, her tanning bed, which almost electrocutes her in the beginning of the movie. So she kind of like uses that to kind of start reanimating him more and more, because he was brought to life by lightning. Like Frankenstein, and she gets this idea, like maybe she can just do these little tanning bed treatments and kind of get him closer and closer, and starts using that. When they start killing people, and sewing parts to him, and using the lightning to kind of correct. I'm sure this is actual science. So anyway, it's really funny. I enjoyed the dialogue is really great. It's the standard, like excellent Cody dialogue here and there that really like ties this story together. It's very funny and very dark, but it's also surprisingly sweet. And I have to say, one of the things I didn't expect was how touching I found the relationship between Lisa and her stepsister Taffy, where they have trouble relating to each other, but they do care about each other. And Taffy really does try. And Taffy is raised by this terrible mother, so she is like maybe like a lowercase kind of like traumatized and sort of abused by her too, but like in a lesser way, to a lesser extent than the way Carla Gugino does. And what an interesting abusive character, where she is someone who works in psychiatric care and listens to a lot of self-help books and finds herself to be empathetic and kind, but she's nothing of the sort. She's a terrible person, and there's a couple of lines where you get the feeling that Taffy knows that, and she just does her best. let's see. The dad is played by Joe Christ, and he is also in Stranger Things, and he has made a little career out of playing useless 80s dads. Like, he is so completely ineffectual in any scene he's in. It's absolutely hilarious. And I don't know, maybe it might be the same guy. I don't know. But anyway, Chris Sprouse from, I believe he is from Riverdale as Jughead. I think that's the same actor. He is excellent in this film, where this is mostly a silent, grunting performance. And, you know, he's able to find a lot of, like, humor and empathy in this character. He does get to speak a little bit, and it's really nicely done. I gotta say, Zelda Williams' direction here is very, like, it's got a, like, strong visual, even though there's a lot of, like, you know, kind of romantic comedy, kind of like, you know, standard kind of, like, comedy horror kind of, like, scenes, but she shoots them and frames them really nicely, where it's never boring, there's never a static shot, it's really nicely told, there's no like fat in this story. It's really summed together very nicely. Oh, hey, I made a little Frankenstein joke. So the visuals start out really nice. Well, starting with the opening titles, where it has this kind of like silhouetted animated design to, and it really leads into the opening title, which I think is you know, really nice and exciting to look at. I gotta say, I really did enjoy this film. There's some minor things, like, this film feels like a film that may have needed a stronger score. The score is nice and serviceable and works really nicely, but I don't know, there's some moments where I feel like it could have used a little bit more, you know, punching up in specific moments of the film, but otherwise it's pretty nicely done. So, like, overall, I'm just a sucker for this movie. It's very funny, it's romantic, it's ghastly. There's some really kind of like, you know, horrific moments. I of course was a teenager in the 80s, so an 80s romantic comedy horror is, I don't know, an easy sell for me. Kathryn Newton is excellent in this movie. She holds up the whole movie. I mean, there's a lot of great moving parts to this, but it's nothing if we don't follow her and we don't like feel for her, and she's able to you know, bring that in like her weaker and meeker moments in the film, and we see her find herself through the events of this film and kind of like discover who she is and kind of relish in who she is. It's a really strong performance. I've been seeing her more and more. She's in the third Ant-Man film, by the way, and I like her quite a bit. So yeah, I really dug this film. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 Ram chips. So if you're not seeing anything right now in theaters, I would go and check it out. Of course, if you're watching this in the future, wherever it's streaming, you know, go see the film. It's really good. Like, if you like Jennifer's Body, definitely in that kind of like, in that same quality. I think it's excellent. So hey, what did you think, viewers at home? Let me know in the comments below, and for all things Manos, you can click the notification bell to get more Manos in your life. And you can find me on Threads, Blue Sky, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, you know, all the places. And Patreon, you can support this channel as well as my own publishing house, Manos Publishing, starting at just $1 a month. It doesn't take much. So anyway, I'll be talking to you later. Push the button, Lindsay.